So it's been a month since I made my first video about going back to therapy because I was so stuck on someone that I didn't even like and they didn't even like me. Um yeah. And when I say I don't like her, it's because it's not that I don't like her because I do care about her. Um I probably even love her. I'm not sure. I'm not. But I don't like how she handles others, and I don't like how she handles herself. So, um, that overall was a thing that we will always never, we will never be on the same page about. So, given the fact that we have completely different moral compasses and different ways we go about how we treat people and how we treat ourselves and stuff like that, we was never gonna get along. We're not supposed to be in each other's space. So ended up going to therapy. I went to therapy because I found myself always every 6 to 12 months thinking about this person in a insufferable amount. And I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to do all those things. So uh I knew that this person was just a symptom of a deeper issue that I was having. And the issues are, I'm back to tell y'all what my issues are. The issues are my formative years need to be looked at. My formative years need to be reflected on, and there needs to be a lot of repair within those formative years. Um, I said in the previous video that I know that I'm not going to be the person I was before I met her. The person I was before I met her was a nervous wreck. The person I was before I met her was very desperate for love and connection and safety. The person I was before was the exact same person I was when I met her. So, me learning that all of this came about in my formative years had nothing to do with her. Um, Gave her way too much credit. None of this has anything to do with any type of friendship or relationship that I had that I was never supposed to be in. A lot of this is having to do with repairing my formative years. Like, my childhood was not that great or easy. Of course, we can all say, "Ooh, it could have been worse," but trauma is fucking trauma. And try not to normalize trauma because you see someone else going through something that is considered worse. How your body, like, how your body takes in trauma might be different from of another person's. Me being misunderstood or isolated or any of those things have caused me to be very parched, thirsty in the way I go about life. Since August of last year, all those transitions that I went through, I did not consider them to be traumatic, and they were. So a lot of stuff I'd be waking up like, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel like I need to reach for something familiar, reach for something? And it didn't even matter if the familiar thing was something that would have completely torn me apart. So me reaching for that woman that hates me, it was familiar. Being hated, I've been getting hated for like since 2016 with her. So it just felt familiar, you know? And that's just what it is. I honestly have not had like ruminating thoughts or even limerence about this person. It flips back and forth with this person. But when I say my thoughts have been so much on, wow, I didn't realize that was trauma. Wow, I really need to really look into these different things that, so I'm really getting to know myself instead of trying to reach back for something familiar, even though that familiarity is just familiar pain. That familiarity is just familiar rejection. That familiarity is just familiar exhaustion and disrespect. You know what I'm saying? So, me being used to being around this person because I expect her to call me out my name. I expect her to treat me like shit. I expect her to be sweet when she wants something. I expect them. And it was familiar. And I was never really supposed to be around as long as I was. I was just useful. And I knew all of that. I knew it all. But now I'm so choosy about who I'm around to make sure, like, oh, are you here because you think you finna get some? Are you here because I don't even have to worry about that really because my boundaries have completely changed because I don't want to have to always think about who's trying to do what. You know what I'm saying? If your boundaries are what they are and you don't move them bitches, you don't have to be worried about who trying to get you, you know? So I don't know if I told you what my boundaries are, but I don't exchange financial. I don't exchange sexual things. I just don't. I don't share money or my body. Like, I find sex to be a problem maker, not a problem solver. And I find giving people money or too much of my time and being too accessible causes people to get entitled. So I am very choosy. I'm very stingy with me, but I also want to balance things out. Um, and I know I can do that with therapy. And I know that the last time I talked to one of my therapists, they said the narrative that I have made about romantic relationships is to keep me safe. And I have a very negative narrative about connection right now. And it's definitely a defense mechanism. And I didn't know that I was using it as a defense mechanism because it's not actual facts that there are no real friends out there anymore. There are no real relationships out there anymore. That's something I made up because of what I always ran into, or let's say I always accepted. So, no, I am no longer the get in where I fit in. I will try to shimmy myself into your life without making or taking up any room or space. If you won't have the space, get out of my face. Honestly, if you don't have the space for a friend, if you don't have a space for a relationship, if you don't have space to just come hang out sometime and then we'll see each other when we see each other. If you don't have space for these things, don't call me. No, why would you do that? You know? So that's where I am because I used to be so available. I used to be so flexible. I used to be so gullible. I used to think that, oh, she just called me a bitch and all these other things. That's fine. I mean, it hurt my feelings, but it's not a big deal. It's verbal abuse. It's disrespect and I don't tolerate it. If you can call me out of my name, you do not like me. If you do not like me, I am not safe. You know what I'm saying? Safety for me is up there. It really is. And I'm no longer delusional. I'm very disillusioned about life. And I'm trying to find the magic again. So that's where I am now, trying to balance out that apathetic, disillusioned feeling and find the magic in life within reason. Because the Delulu was so high. And the only reason why I could hang around this person is because of the potential I could see so much good in her. I could see that she just can do anything she wants to do in life. Sky's the limit. That girl don't want to do nothing. She don't want to go nowhere. She don't want to be better. She don't want to treat people good. She don't give a fuck. And that's okay. Um, that's completely fine. My mistake was trying to change someone because of this potential that I made up. So I'm no longer the Delulu, but I'm also on the other end of apathy and numb. You know, I don't I don't expect nothing from nobody. Like, I don't think nobody capable of being worth a damn right now. And I have my few people that I do keep close, and I'm very grateful for you. But I also know not to put them in a place where they can't be human, you know? So I'm balancing things out with therapy. I'm getting back to the magic of life. I'm getting back to the creativity of life. I'm getting back to understanding that it's not about a woman, it's about you. We need to figure out what's going on with you. And I'm glad about it. I cannot rediscover what I never had. That's another thing. I wanted to rediscover myself. And we're getting to know me for the first time outside of trauma, outside of anxiety, outside of depression. And I'm happy about it. Anyway, that's my update about therapy. That's my update about where I am in life, my thinking process, and all of that. Um, love you guys. We gonna get through this together.